Right. Looks like we have people coming in.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to give folks a couple minutes to trickle in. Happy Friday. Happy Saturday if you're somewhere else in the world where it's Saturday. Thanks for being here in your morning, in your evening, in your afternoon, in your middle of the night. I'm drinking my coffee. I just made a coffee. Will's got his water bottle. Base morning. Yes, seeing the chat trickle in now. Hello, chat. Let's go. BM. Oh, I missed that. Let me get my BM in the everyone chat. Nice. Awesome. One more minute. Let's see if we'll get to 200 folks. I think we will. Let's get the socials out. Okay. I think we should do it. Wilson?
I was going to say, where are these chats coming in from? Is this Twitter live feed or do we have multiple things coming in here?
I think this is everyone in the Zoom.
Oh, hype. Okay, sick.
Hype. Yeah, so we have a live chat in the Zoom. If you're watching on Twitter, you can go to the Zoom live chat. There's lots of energy in here. And I'm going to kick us off with just a little hype speech, as I called it yesterday, to set the context of why we are here and what I'm hoping to see this summer. So I always like to start, no matter what meeting I'm starting with the big picture, the why. And the why we are here, the why all of you are showing up on this call is because we are building a global on-chain economy that's going to increase innovation, creativity, and freedom. And we believe that this economy has the potential to be the largest economy that humanity has ever seen. And if we're successful in building that economy, we, the people in this room, the people watching the stream, are going to bring the world on chain together. And when we do that, we're going to make it so every person who comes on chain lives a better life. They can build better businesses. They can have a happier family. They can have more connection to the people that they care about. And you guys, the people in this room, the people listening to this stream, are the builders that are going to make it happen. And this summer, the Onchain Summer Buildathon is the place that is going to incubate and curate and support the apps that are going to bring the next wave of users who come on chain. And so as you're getting into this Buildathon, I wanted to talk about 3 things that I want all of you to keep in mind as you start building. The first is that anyone can be a builder. You do not have to be a developer to be a builder. If you are building a community, you are a builder. If you are building your creativity, you are a builder. If you are building a brand, you're a builder. If you're building just an audience, you're a builder. Literally anyone in the world can be a builder. If you come on chain, you are a builder. And so if you're listening to this call, you're a builder. And we want you to participate in the Buildathon. We want you to show up. We want you to onboard new people. And we want you to contribute to helping bring the world on chain. The second thing is that we want you to build in the open. One of the incredible things about on-chain is that it's open and it's accessible to everyone. And the best way we can show the world that is by building in the open and telling the story together. And so as you're building this month, when you're hacking on your app or you're building your community, I want you to do it in public. Share your progress on Twitter and Farcaster. Post videos on TikTok and YouTube. Don't be afraid about waiting till the end to have everything perfect. Show your progress, share your progress, and inspire the people around you by making that progress in the open. And then the third thing is that build with your friends. You are not alone. We want you to go find new friends who've never built on chain, to find the friends who are already building on chain and get together with them and create something that only you can do when you work together. Because if you're building with friends, you're going to have more fun, you're going to have more of an impact, and most importantly, you're going to onboard more people, which at the end of the day is what's going to enable us to create this on-chain economy. So those are the three things. Just to say them again, anyone can be a builder, no matter who you are. Build in the open, because that's the way to show the world what's happening, and then build with your friends so that you collectively onboard more people into this incredible on-chain economy that we're building together. And so with that, I'm going to hand it over to Denver with one final call, which is that this summer is our time. Go forth and build, create incredible things, help us bring the world on chain, and help us make the world a better place by creating this incredible economy that increases innovation, creativity, and freedom. So thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. And Denver, take it away with the next steps for the Onchain Summer Buildathon.
All right. Super stoked to be partnering with none other than the most based chain out there, Base, and this is the Buildathon Kickoff. We already have Jesse, Will, and Wilson here, and me. My name is Denver. I'm from your neighborhood-friendly hackathon platform, Devfolio, and I'm just going to quickly cover some stuff, some of the things that I think are interesting, some do's and don'ts, and let's get all of you set up to build this on-chain summer. All right. First of all, welcome. I've already been seeing all of you spam BM in the chat. If you haven't done it already, please do it right now. If you are here, you are based, and let's make it count. All right. We have thousands of registrations so far from 830 cities across 90 countries, and over 1,000 of you have staked to build. I couldn't be more happy that we could put this on such short notice, and yeah, kudos to everyone for bringing in the vibes. All right. So here are the key dates. May 31st, which is today, is when the Buildathon kicks off. You have until June 30th to submit your project, during which we will have mentorship sessions, partner workshops, and on July 16th is when the winners will be announced. And we have 200 ETH in prizes. That's certainly a huge amount of ETH. It's certainly more than I have ever seen. And you can learn all about the prices on offer on onchainsummer.devfolio.co. How it works is that we have 8 tracks for which we have 20 ETH in prizes. And then you can apply for as many tracks as you think are relevant for if you build on Base. But if you build on one particular track, you can only apply to one. I'll talk more about that a bit later. Shout out to the incredible partners that are making this hackathon possible: Stripe, Shopify, Fleek, Zora, Farcaster, ThirdWeb, Synthetics, NounsDAO, and Aerodrome. All right, how, where, and when can you register? You can register on onchainsummer.devfolio.co. Just going to take a quick pause here in case anyone wants to grab the QR code. If you haven't registered, this is where it's at. Register right now. All right. So here's how you register. You just go on onchainsummer.devfolio.co, click on register now. And as soon as you do that, you just need to link your wallet, stake the 0.002 ETH to proceed. Why we do this is so that we can have the most based builders in the same place as everyone. Everyone has buy-in and is committed to building towards the hackathon. Remember that you get all of your ETH back as soon as you submit your project at the end of the Buildathon. And voila, you're all set. Once you stake your ETH, you can go ahead and start adding your project. If you're submitting solo, if you're submitting as a team, you can add your team members and then add your project. We also have something cool for you by now. Folks who would have already registered would have checked it out. Yeah, like, I don't know if you are, but if you aren't, you should get to be part of the Super Bowl Jesse gang. So around February, I think Jesse made a mistake. He put up in the base god chat that if base crosses 10 billion in TVL, he'll go bald. And yeah, we just took that and maybe went a little crazy with it over the last weekend. And now we have let's get jessebald.com. And we have so far in 2 days over 580 NFTs minted. We have everything from tokenized autonomous Super Bowl Jesse to hard fork permissionless Super Bowl Jesse, and also interconnected interoperable Super Bowl Jesse. There are 500 of these and they're all awesome. And there's literally no limit to how many we can mint. So get yours right now. All right. So this is how you get your hands on the NFT. If you haven't got it already, you can get it right on Devfolio. And once you mint your NFT, you can share it both on Farcaster and on X. All right. Here's the Discord where you join in and we'll all hang out and you'll get to be part of the hackathon. This is where all support, you'll receive all support for the hackathon. You'll also get to interact with all the partners, and you will have all the base crew there to support you. You should also read our code of conduct if you haven't already. This hackathon is governed by the Devfolio code of conduct. And most importantly, remember that there's no room for harassment and abuse. It will not be tolerated because we are trying to create a respectful space for everyone. All right. With that, I think we are done with getting stuff out of the way. We can finally sit down and have our fireside. And yeah, how's it going, Jesse, Will, and Wilson? Welcome back.
We're back.
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks for opening it up, Denver.
Yeah.
I think maybe, I think people already know me, but I'm Jesse. Wilson and Will, maybe you guys can start with just quick intros for yourself.
Yeah, sure. I'm Wilson. I work on the base team, mostly on the smart contract stuff. For the last 9 months or so, I've been really focused on the smart wallet, which I'm excited for you guys to build on. I'll go ahead and show that now, smartwallet.dev. If you're feeling a little bored, you can start to scroll through there. But yeah, work on the base team. Excited to be here with you guys today.
Cool. And one fun fact about Wilson is that he has been working in Coinbase and Base for a long time. But back in 2022, we actually spun Wilson out of Coinbase to start a startup, which he ran for a year with a really awesome team. And then, they learned a lot, and we launched Base, and he was so excited about Base that we spun him back in to Coinbase and the Base team, and he's been one of the most essential leaders on our team from that point. And I think it's just a great example of both the kind of entrepreneurial energy that exists in the Base ecosystem kind of from the beginning. Bins?
Yeah, hey, so I'm Will. If you're in the Base Discord or on Telegram or X or Farcaster, I'm W Bins, and I'm on the developer relations team. And essentially, like throughout this Buildathon, really in general, any questions you have about Base, just things you're confused about, things you just wanted to learn more about, like definitely just tag me in any of those spaces, and really just here to try to help you build on Base. And really excited that so many people are here today. There's like Bases for everyone. It's just like so many people show up for this. I think it's like the energy that's the kindling for making really great things. So yeah.
And now I get to tell one fun story about Will, which is that the day we launched Base, Will was not a part of Base at that point, but Will reached out literally the day we launched Base in Discord. Will reached out and he said, I think that this is the most important thing I've ever seen happen in crypto, and I want to be a part of it. How can I be a part of it? And then for the next 6 weeks, totally unpaid, totally as a volunteer, Will worked harder than anyone I've ever seen to make Base successful. He moderated the Discord, he brought in new people, he wrote tutorials, he wrote guides, with no expectation of anything. And now he's a full-time member of our team. He joined, I think, about like 8 weeks in, but that level of just builder energy where he showed up to build on day one with no expectations, knowing that it would all work out, is so emblematic of what we want to see in the ecosystem. And he's been an incredible leader from that time.
All right. Right. So I want to kick things off just, zooming into what you mentioned earlier, right? So how did you come up across this whole thing with this thing called Base?
Yeah. So we went on a long journey to find Base. And for me, it's actually been a 7.5-year journey at Coinbase, but I actually feel like I was almost working on it before I joined Coinbase, with the startup that I started before. But at Coinbase, I led all the consumer teams on the engineering side for 5 years. We built Coinbase, Coinbase Pro, Coinbase Wallet. And then in early 2021, took some time off and really kind of started thinking about this idea of what would it look like to bring Coinbase on chain. And I think the insight was, Coinbase, even though it's a crypto company, and even though it's been kind of a market leader from the beginning, because it was started in 2012, in many ways it has been a Web2 centralized custodial off-chain business. It was really a place where you could buy crypto, but you couldn't do that much with it. And we'd started to see kind of in 2017, 2018 with USDC and Coinbase Wallet, the rise of kind of more on-chain utility. But we didn't really have a plan in 2021 for figuring out how Coinbase would move from being that off-chain custodial business to being an on-chain business powered by smart contracts, really like accelerating and pushing forward the industry, adopting this new platform. And so in 2021, we kind of took a step back and we said, how do we do this? And we went through a bunch of different ideas. My first idea was I went to our exec team and I said, this is like peak bull market. I said, give me 60 employees and $1 billion and we'll turn Coinbase into a DAO. And they were like, love the energy, Jesse. That is not it. Like, we're not going to do that. That's a bad idea. But it was kind of like this entrepreneurial journey where that was the first idea. And then over the next 6 to 9 months, we went through 3 other ideas. We thought about building an app store. We thought about building a kind of advertising marketplace. We thought about building a bunch of identity infrastructure. And every single time we were building an app on chain, we started running into the same problem, which was there was no good place to build. Nothing was fast enough, nothing was cheap enough, and there wasn't enough infrastructure that could make it really, really easy for a team like ours inside of a big company, inside of Coinbase, or even anywhere to create on-chain applications that could scale to millions or tens of millions or hundreds of millions of users. And so after a lot of kind of like running into the walls of that and a lot of wandering in the desert and a lot of pain and anxiety and stress, we kind of had this insight where it's like, whoa, maybe instead of starting by trying to build the applications, we should start by building an application platform that would make it incredibly easy for teams at Coinbase to build on-chain apps. And if we were going to build it for teams at Coinbase, why not make an application platform that was accessible to everyone in the world? And that was the insight that started Base. And so in November of 2022, we deployed the first internal testnet. It was called BaseNet. We did it during like a hack month that a small team of 4 people kind of took on. We only made it accessible to engineers. Engineers at Coinbase loved it. And that kind of gave us this energy of like, whoa, there's something here. We had the first kind of testnet in December of 2022. That was kind of private. No one knew about it. And then February of 2022, we launched the first public testnet. Built to the mainnet in August of 2023. Onchain Summer, the first version, which we're now kind of running back for Onchain Summer 2. And here we are 9 months later, and Base is pretty much the largest L2 in terms of all the metrics that matter: users, activity, volume. And I think the one that matters most to me is builders. And when I'm sitting on this call and seeing, there's 300 people on the Zoom, there's, I think, like 4,000 people watching right now on X, that level of builder energy is so wild. It blows my mind. And it's happened so fast and it is so generative where all of us are coming together. We're creating this next wave of applications and we're really breathing life into this on-chain economy that is Base that is going to fundamentally change the world. So that's the story. We are still on day one of this story. Our job is not finished, as Wilson likes to say. And all of the people listening into this are the people who are going to help us finish this job over the next few years as we work to bring the entire world on chain.
Makes sense. And just as a, to what you were saying, like it's so different to think about it as like Coinbase is essentially, starting off as a more Web2-ish company, moving towards Web3. There's no real reason why you should do that, right? But yet you are. I think one of the reasons is that you're thinking from first principles on like how everything can evolve, and it's a more on a bet of what comes ahead rather than what's possible right now, right?
Because I mean, Wilson, you've been in the trenches with the smart wallet and kind of thinking about how to bring Coinbase on chain. You want to share some perspective on like why bring Coinbase on chain and what you think the impact is going to be?
Yeah. I was just sort of reflecting on watching Jesse go through that process. And I think one of the really exciting things to me about seeing Base happen was sort of the incentive alignment, that Coinbase could sort of only go so far when we supported other L2s succeeding. But when it became about our bottom line, the forcing function of corporate attention is their bottom line. And so as soon as, we can make some money on something, we're going to be able to, what's the user friction? Why aren't we getting more? And now we're involved in all these things in a deep, deep way that we didn't have to care about before. Like all of Coinbase is watching the EIP, the ERC discussions in a way that we never really had to before. All these challenges of on-ramping, we're feeling all that friction in a really, really deep way. And ideally, we're building things that benefit the whole ecosystem, right? So we built this smart wallet. Yeah, so let me show smart wallet for a minute, right? Like we finished Onchain Summer last year, and as the Base team, we say like, okay, developers are our customers. What stops developers from succeeding? Like what stops developers from crushing it? Our goal is to just like serve up softballs for developers to just hit home runs. We were like, it's just still way too hard to get people set up in your app. If a new user shows up, they have to go on this crazy like side quest to get their wallet going. And if they're like a Coinbase user, which should be this huge advantage, they already have credit cards set up, they already have a funded account, they can't use that on chain very easily. And we really wanted to change that. And so that's what Smart Wallet was all about. Users can now use passkeys. They can get signed up in seconds. It's one account that moves across apps. And so, if a user has used this account in other apps, it's more likely that they're going to show up to your app with a funded account with assets that are interesting. With this magic spends feature, where you can pull assets directly from Coinbase. And so, yeah, for me, it's really, really thrilling to be at a company that is sort of practiced in execution and discipline and sort of setting goals and applying all of that energy to the on-chain economy and figuring out how we can scale that to 1 billion users. It's a really, really exciting place to be right now.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I like to say is that like the current things that people see is kind of like the tip of the iceberg. Like there's just a small amount of stuff that's come out right now. The smart wallet was the kind of big missing piece of infrastructure that we felt we really needed in order to start bringing Coinbase on chain. But now that that infrastructure is almost ready, I think we're going to see over the next year incredible applications that the broader ecosystem can build, which is going to kind of like lift this iceberg out. But then also the full force of a huge public company that's really investing tons of resources in bringing the business on chain, bringing the users on chain, bringing the assets on chain, bringing all of our business on chain. And I think that is going to be a catalyst that really helps ignite a lot of the energy that's been bubbling and kind of shows the world, oh, this technology platform is ready. And it's not just kind of a mirage. It's not just speculation. When you build on chain and when you use on chain applications, they are 10 times faster to build, easier to use, more globally accessible, more efficient, and it leads to better outcomes for the people who are using them. Like that's it. It's better. And I think no one's really seen that yet. But for the first time this summer, with all the stuff that y'all build and with all the stuff that Coinbase is building, I think it's going to become really apparent to the world.
And I think something else just to say on that that's exciting is like, there's sort of some of these things are like a secret, and secrets are sort of opportunities for small devs. And I think that some people are like, oh yeah, blockchain, isn't that, like 10-minute settlement times? Doesn't that cost $30? And so for the people that are paying attention, they're like, no, that was last year. That was 2 years ago. Today it's sub-cent, and who realize, whoa, we're not just matching Web 2 UX, like we're going to pass it. If not, have we already passed it? And with Smart Wallet in particular, the devs that are on this call, you have edge over some of these big Web3 companies as well. Because there's a lot of new features with Smart Wallet, like this magic spend, batch transactions, app-based paymasters, that, a lot of these big companies are going to take a while to move on. And so really small devs can like purpose build things to this experience right now. And I think get a lot of mind share and users in a quick way. So that's exciting to me, like at this particular moment.
100%. And maybe just to put a T on that, before, if you were a small dev and you wanted to onboard a user, it was like, go use your app. And it was like, oh, in order to use your app, you need to go get this other app. And you need to go through the whole setup process of that other app. And you need to go get a credit card and funding. And you have to think about the on-ramps, all this complexity. It literally would take 10 minutes. With the Smart Wallet, it's like, oh, onboard your user. They put in their fingerprint and they're in your app. It takes something that would have taken 10 minutes and it compresses it down into 10 seconds. And like Wilson said, that's alpha. That's something that not everyone understands. And so there are going to be small devs this summer, small devs like the people in this room, small builders like the people in this room, who create apps that reach millions of people or tens of millions of people. And they're going to do that with the Smart Wallet. They're going to do it by seeing this opportunity and building something that kind of brings it all together in a way that catches the attention of the world and brings people on chain. So I'm so excited about that.
Right. Will, what are your thoughts on the whole base ecosystem that's going on right now?
Well, I think just to the topic of Smart Wallet, I've been in the space, I think, since 2013. I've been wanting to work on Base before I even knew what Base was, before it even existed. And going back to like February 2023 when I saw it launch, it was just like, I was like, that's it. And just I've been all in ever since. And for like over a decade now, we've been in a place where we have a lot of people that they're looking at the world and they feel like, there's a lot of stuff broken right now. Like we want to build something better. And for a long time, a lot of people, very brilliant people, have been working in the space, but been limited by what the technology can do. And so taking something like Smart Wallet, everybody probably that's here right now at some point has like told a friend or a family member, hey, like, yeah, oh, go use this. Check this out. Okay, wait, first you got to go over here. You need to download this mobile app. Wait, you need to go install this extension. Okay, now you need to go get some ETH if you want to go do this. And that's a lot of steps and a lot of things that people don't understand. And when they don't understand something, that creates doubt and lack of confidence. And for the first time right now, it's actually the technology exists that it's actually possible just to focus on building awesome apps and connecting people around the world. And so like with what Wilson's talking about, with what Jesse's talking about, literally right now, like in just the coming days and months, people can go to different sites and just click and use it. And then they can go to another site, transact permissionlessly, like literally everything's starting to open up. So like I would just come back and just say, like, there's so many builders here right now. We've all, like, if you built in the space, thought about different times where there was a real change and evolution and things happening, and kind of thought back, what was I doing then? Right now, I think is a really good time to think to yourself, what am I doing now when it became possible for me to just start building in this space in a new way? So that's kind of like
100%.
my mental model for it.
We've hit an inflection point, and there's three things that I think have changed just in the last 6 months. One is that it's finally really cheap to build on chain. Like you can do things on Base right now, and it's like a tenth of a cent. And we're going to keep scaling Base. We increased gas target 50% this week. We're going to keep increasing gas target to keep up with demand and keep driving down costs. The second is the Smart Wallet. Now, instead of taking 10 minutes to onboard someone, you can do it in 10 seconds. That is a sea change. Every app is now possible to be built. And onboarding can be simple. It's not going to be something that people churn out of. And then the third is that we finally have social graphs on chain that you can just use out of the box. So you can integrate the Farcaster graph and you can have a full social network that you can get distribution through frames. And you can have kind of like social connection in your app where you can show leaderboards, you can show people who you follow, and all of that's open and accessible. Those three things, super cheap fees, super fast onboarding, and super connected social graph are fundamental game changers. And they have just happened in the last 3 to 6 months. And so the people in this room, the people watching the stream, the builders who get it are going to take those fundamental changes and they're going to build applications that change the world because they see it before everyone else. And then when you have your app with hundreds of millions of users, everyone else can be like, how did they know? How did they see it? And it's because you were here. You were here right now and you saw what was happening and you took advantage of it and you built something incredible.
Yeah, and I'll add to that and say, like this, we in general are here to help you win. Like I in particular, I want to help you win with Smart Wallet. I'm in the Base Discord. I'm in the Coinbase Developer Platform Discord. I'm on Twitter. DM me. Jesse says, build first, ask later. But like, don't just say, hey, I have an idea. Can you help me do it? But if you show up and you're like, hey, I'm following this tutorial. I did this template. I'm stuck on this thing. Can you help me? I'm 100% there to help you. I want to just see people build amazing experiences with this because I want to use it. I'm having so much fun using it with the people who have added it so far, and I can't wait to see what gets built in it in the next month.
Me too. I'm here. I'm in the. Someone messaged me. He's like, "Is he going to see this message?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm digging the trenches. You're in the trenches. I'm digging the trenches, and we're here with all of you to keep digging those trenches to make the trenches better, make them more usable, make it so you can get wherever you want to go. So if you need anything, if you want help, if you have something that you're getting stuck on, shoot me a message, shoot Wilson a message, shoot Will a message, join the Discord. All we do every day, Monday through Sunday, is wake up and figure out how do we help builders build incredible things and change the world.
Yeah, I think I can confirm to that. I think we ourselves have been building a lot of things over the past 1 week, and whenever we build something, we message just Jesse and Will, and yeah, boom, instant response, and we're able to go ahead. I think that's the supporting.
And I'll just
yeah.
No, go for it. Go for it.
No, I think that's what is the differentiator between wherever a builder chooses to build, right? Ultimately, that's what propels them ahead. Like tech is, to be honest, secondary. It's the community and the community spirit that keeps builders going forward. And yeah, I think Base is doing a great job.
And the thing that I'll say is shout out to the Devfolio team for putting on this Buildathon. We reached out like a month ago and we were like, hey, we want to throw the biggest hackathon on chain that's ever happened. And they were like, let's freaking go. And they have, I think, matched our builder energy with builder energy. For instance, the let's get Jesse bald campaign, which is hilarious and amazing. And I love it. And I can't wait to get bald. And I'm really hoping that we reach $10 billion in TVL by the time Basecamp happens so that we can have a whole event. Maybe we'll live stream it. Maybe it will be a whole thing that everyone gets to watch. We'll see. But they came to us and they said, hey, we have this incredible idea for a campaign. Can we ship it? And then they shipped it in like 2 days. And that energy, the talk less, build more energy is based energy. And I think, again, all the people in this chat, all the people who are showing up in the chat, all the people who are creating things on chain right now, y'all are bringing based energy. And so I would just encourage you to keep feeling that, keep reflecting that to other people, and keep building more, talking less, and changing the world.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing for us was and what we like to see is we came up with this whole plan, and we're like, okay, at some point we need to tell Jesse, right? I mean, it's he has to go bald, and we're gonna make it happen. And we need to tell him, and we're like, how do we do that? And we just put up a message, and Jesse just love it, ship it, right? And that's about it. And with that message, and that's all we need. And we I think the Devfolio team went ham, and we didn't even know how things were evolving. We somehow made the names generative as well. And now we have some crazy ass Super Bowl jerseys being minted on chain. So that's pretty cool to see. People are already trying to attach some sort of ETH value to it. No one really knows where this is going to go. It's going to be pretty cool.
Invaluable. No, priceless. The bald NFT is priceless. And if you don't have one yet, you can get one by joining the Buildathon. And I will just give a shout out to thank you, Base God, who originally got me to join the bald list and make this commitment. It was a Saturday. It was a fateful Saturday where I was just vibing and talking, and they were like, "Do you want to join the bald list?" And I was like, "I'll join the bald list when it hits $10 billion." And at that point, I think Base TVL was like 800 million or something. I was like, I got time. Like, no one's going to remember this. Little did I know, here we would be like 3 months later, literally 4 months later, on our path to 10 billion with the Jesse Super Bald NFT live. It's going to be crazy.
Right. Let's probably take some time to talk about the Buildathon and the Onchain Summer itself.
Yeah.
How did you all like come up with Onchain Summer? And
Yeah, I mean, Onchain Summer is a meme. It's a vibe. It's a moment. And I think we started feeling that last year. You know, we launched the testnet in February, and we kind of did our timelining for when the mainnet was going to come out. We saw that was going to happen in the summer, and we just started having this idea and this phrase and this meme internally that was like, it's going to be on-chain summer. We're going to launch Base. It's going to catalyze a movement, and everyone's going to start coming on-chain. And that was what happened last summer. Like, I think it kind of blew our wildest expectations out of the water. We launched Base in August. I think all of August was just insane. I did like a video stream every day for 30 days straight. I've never worked harder in my life. It was not a healthy thing, but there's so much energy. We loved it. And I think leaving that summer, we kind of had this reflection, which is, you know, crypto is a very like cyclical space. And we wanted to kind of get on a cycle, which was, every spring we build, every summer we onboard, every fall we learn, and then we reset and we do it again. And that is what you guys are getting to see here, right? We've built all spring. We're going to build through June, summer, July, August. We're going to do everything we possibly can to bring as many people on chain. And then September, we're going to reflect. October, we're going to reflect. We're going to reset. We're going to learn. We're going to see what worked, what didn't work. We're going to start building again. And that rhythm is going to repeat until literally the entire world is on chain. And so I think sometimes people get in their head of like, oh, on-chain summer is like, it's this specific thing, or it's like a marketing campaign. And that's not right. On-chain summer is a culture. It's a meme. It's creativity that all of us are generatively making happen. And so the people in this room, the people building in the Buildathon, the apps that you guys are going to ship, that's on-chain summer. That you onboarding your friend who's never known anything about crypto before with the smart wallet, that's on-chain summer. You creating a cool piece of merch and adding it to the merch store, that's on-chain summer. You telling your parents about crypto and getting them excited, that's on-chain summer. You just posting on-chain summer on Twitter tomorrow or Monday when on-chain summer really kicks off because it's the beginning of June, that's on-chain summer too. And so there's no single person, there's no single company, there's no single thing that will create or make on-chain summer happen. We will make on-chain summer happen because we will come together, we will build incredible things, and we will bring the world on-chain this summer. Wilson, Will, anything else to add on that hype?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, just even getting in on the base channel on Barcaster, just hanging out, commenting on people that are building stuff, giving them feedback. Like, you don't like Jesse said, everybody is a builder and making something in some way, and just contributing to the ecosystem, connecting with somebody, joining a community. That's on-chain summer.
Yeah, sometimes I joke that like Base is sort of like Coinbase distribution as a service. You know, like we have these followings on our Base channel, on Jesse's channel, on my channel, whatever, and we just like try to put them to work for builders. And I think that on-chain summer is like a very special time that we hone in on that. It's like, look, like I said earlier, we're just trying to tee people up for home runs. And it's like a special moment to really focus in and know that there's going to be a lot of eyes watching like whatever the output is, and people cheering you on, people ready to support you and ready to, you know, amplify the exciting things that come out of it.
So build awesome things, and we will do everything we can to get them in front of as many people as possible and help you be successful. That's what on-chain summer is all about.
One question from the chat that I thought was interesting, and maybe we're getting into the tracks in a minute, so maybe I'm jumping the gun, but they were asking, we're hyped on Smart Wallet. We're talking a lot about Smart Wallet. are there other things that sort of people should rally around? I think, Jesse, you mentioned one with like the socials, and that's sort of a new primitive that we have, this on-chain social graph. That's sort of top of mind for me. But yeah, Will or Jesse, like any other things that you're excited to see people experiment with, or I know there's a bunch of ideas in the tracks as well, so we can save that discussion.
Obviously, lots of ideas in the tracks, but some things that are top of mind for me. Obviously, the smart wallet. I think it is a game changer for onboarding. So whatever you're building, you should integrate the smart wallet and make that kind of the easiest way to onboard customers. I think other thing that I'm really excited about, obviously, is social graph. I'll talk about that in a second in the tracks. But I think there's so much potential to get virality that just wasn't there. Stable coins also is another thing. I think we're seeing more and more payments adoption. We're seeing in-person commerce. We're seeing peer-to-peer happen in a big way. And so figuring out like, how do you put those together? How do you start to use the low fees, the really easy wallets, the social graph to make payments experiences actually happen, saving experiences actually happen? I think there's so much energy right now around creators. And I think people are seeing that the existing internet doesn't work that well for creators, right? Like you create a viral video and maybe you get some likes and comments, but like likes and comments aren't worth shit. Like you should get paid if you're creating viral videos. And if people are remixing videos, you should get paid more. And I think that is this open space where for the first time on chain, you can have a direct relationship between the people who are consuming content and the people who are creating content. And you can have attribution for remixing. And I think that's going to lead to this incredibly powerful design space for creators. And so I'd love to see people building apps to help creators come on chain. I'd also love to see people just create more content about what's happening on chain. And I tweeted this yesterday. It's like, posting vertical videos about what's happening on chain on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels and Twitter is so impactful because that's where all the people are. Like literally those are the products that people spend the most time in. And we finally have apps that are good enough. We finally have experiences that are good enough. And so if you're a meme or you're an app or you're a creator of any kind, I would really encourage you to figure out how do you get distribution through vertical video channels and kind of tell the story of what's happening on chain because it's going to help us bring more people into the ecosystem. Will, anything you're excited about?
Yeah, I think probably my two favorite tracks are social and like the creator track, because I just feel like that in some way that has application to literally like everybody on the planet. So like we all have some type of intersection with a social network. We've all created some type of content in some way if you're posting to your feed. And so like as a builder, being able to create something that has a way of enabling those people that are doing that already to do more in an open and permissionless way, I think is just like an incredible unlock and just literally has the potential to be a level of virality that just doesn't exist in Web 2. And I think using things like smart wallet, the fact that now it's like literally about 1 cent to do something, in many cases less than a cent on chain, is just completely opens things up to incredible possibilities. So
yeah, I just wanted to share like, one particular reason why we were so excited about doing the Buildathon, right? Because I mean, at Devfolio we've been doing hackathons since a while. And yeah, we did our first crypto hackathon way back in 2018. So, have seen the cycles, things evolve and everything. But I think this is where there's really the potential for all of it to come together, right? So I think we've been through a couple of cycles, and then just I think around last year the energy was like, hey, Web3 is like dead, right? AI is here, and then that's like just blowing up. But something for all of us to remember is that when if AI started blowing up, it's all because it was at the right time at the right place, right? The algorithms that power AI now were in fact first written in the 80s and 90s, and it has gone through multiple hype cycles, the Gartner hype cycles. If you all of you know about it, and now it's having its time in the sun. But that being said, for an industry that's only started in 2010, I think we're not doing too bad. yes, everything is not perfect, but hey, we are here, and your actions during this next 1 month can actually determine how we shape the future, right? And this is not just talk. We're so glad that we really believe that Bays will be here to support each and every builder that wants to bring the world on chain. I think we have had enough of just plain on online. It's time to bring the world on chain, and we are super stoked.
Time to bring the world on chain. And I know we have to turn it over to sponsors, but I want to remind people of actually 6 things, but they're in 3 groups. The first is that there have been 3 big changes which make it possible for you to build apps: incredibly low fees, incredibly easy onboarding with the smart wallet, and powerful social graphs that give you virality. So as you're building your apps, leverage those things. Build things that would only be possible with low fees, easy onboarding, and social graphs. The second is what I said at the beginning. Everyone is a builder, regardless of who you are, regardless of what your background is. You can be a builder. Just bring the builder mindset and create something incredible. The second is build in the open. Share what you are building. Share it on Twitter. Share it on Farcaster. Share it on TikTok. Share your progress as you go. Don't hold it all in till the end. Don't wait to be perfect. Inspire people through sharing. And then the third is build with your friends. Go find friends. Go make new friends. Come together to create something that would only be possible in building together. If you do those 3 things and you take advantage of those 3 sea changes, you are going to create something incredible this summer. We are going to do everything we can with blood, sweat, and tears to make you successful, to onboard more people into your app, and we're going to bring the world on chain, and we're going to change the world together. So with that, I think we turn it over to the sponsors to talk about each of the tracks and give folks a little bit of more color on what we should be building this summer.
Let's go.
And I'm first because I'm filling in for Farcaster. So imagine that I'm Dan Romero. They weren't able to make it today, but the first track is the social track. It's sponsored by Farcaster, but as a reminder, on any of these tracks, you can build with any technology. The sponsors are here to help. There's office hours, there's technology. You can build on Farcaster social graph, but you don't have to. But we really want to see people build incredible on-chain social experiences this summer with a focus on mainstream adoption, bringing in real users, and virality. And I think the really, really powerful thing to remember about social experiences is that when they hit, they can grow really, really fast. If you think about TikTok, or you think about Facebook, or you think about Instagram, those things weren't things that grew over 10 years. I mean, of course, they kept growing over 10 years, but they went from 0 to hundreds of millions of users in a very short amount of time. And so we finally are at a point right now where the social technology is ready for people to build on-chain and build on-chain consumer social apps. And so this summer in the Buildathon, we're hoping that we're going to see a number of them. My thought here would be like, don't be afraid to pick something off small. One of the really powerful things about on-chain social is that the graph is open and you can build on top of it. So you don't have to build a whole app. You can build one viral experience that piggybacks off of that app. So that's the first thought. The second thought is think about how to integrate social into other parts of your experience. If you're building a game, that can be social too. A really good example of this is Speed Tracer, which is an app that Sammy's built, speedtracer.xyz. It's a game, but you go see your leaderboard. You can see who's playing alongside you. You can see what your friends are doing. You can have a leaderboard or a contest that's specific to your friends. Figure out how to integrate this new social platform into your app. And then the third thing is that social is for everyone. And the people in this call are from all around the world. And there's going to be social experiences that originate in all different countries all around the world. And so if you're somewhere that maybe is off the beaten path, don't be afraid to build something for your community. Because if you build something for your community that's social, because it's built on an open platform, it will plug into the broader social network. You'll get all of the advantages of it, but you'll be able to have something that's really, really purpose-built for your community. So really hoping that we see incredible experiences built on social apps this summer, hoping that a lot of you decide to build for this track. Thank you, Farcaster, for sponsoring us. And with that, I will hand it over to the next sponsor.
All right. Next up, we have Stripe. And I believe we have Nick from Stripe here.
Hey everyone, I'm Nick from Stripe. I'm on some bad Wi-Fi down at Consensus, so if I cut out, I apologize. I'm on like hotel Wi-Fi that's not working too great. But so I lead some payments products at Stripe and some crypto payouts products, and so happy to be here. Really excited to support the Base ecosystem and to see what you guys are going to build this summer. And so Stripe, as many of you know, is a payments company. We're starting to foray into crypto more and more, so we're really excited about the space, especially the the L2 space and Base in particular. And so for this summer, we'd love to see people build consumer payments experiences that just feel easy. And so I think I would actually respectfully disagree with one of the earlier panelists around Web3 UX surpassing Web2. I think we have a little bit of ways to go till it feels like you can just like check out without thinking. And so we're looking for those types of solutions. Like how can someone like my mom, who really has entered her credit card properly, she actually buy a pair of shoes with stable coins? How could she get comfortable getting a wallet, or how could she get comfortable just like when she clicks that button in her wallet, knowing that like she's paying and it's not going somewhere she didn't mean for it to go? And so like really easy checkout experiences, really easy ways for merchants to kind of accept crypto and organize it, and interesting ways for merchants maybe even bill with it. Like we've thought about like, could you do like recurring billing? How could a merchant like kind of set up a crypto pipeline for payments and stuff like that? And so we're really open-ended. We're just looking for really clever and easy to use solutions that kind of inspire the whole Base ecosystem to build products that are for the next 100 million people that may not have a crypto wallet, may not really even understand how crypto wallets work, but want to interact or incentivized to interact in crypto in certain ways. I think that's all I got.
Thanks, Nick. And that was Stripe for you. Next up, we have Fleek.
Awesome. Hey everyone, my name is Kanishk and I'm the head of DevRel at Fleek. We are super excited to be sponsoring the Discovery track and have 20 ETH in prizes up for grabs. For all the hackers participating, here is exactly what you should know. The goal of this Discovery track is to build compelling apps on top of the Onchain Summer registry with a focus on discoverability and daily engagement. Now, what we are exactly looking for the projects that you are building is as follows. First and foremost, people who think outside the box. For example, what unique features will you build to keep your users engaged daily? And how creative will you be in helping people discover various projects on the registry? We are also focusing on projects who will optimize their app's performance and make it lightning fast. App speed has an enormous impact on how people use and react to your app and how your app can retain those users. And thus, we'd like to see projects that appreciate that. How fast does your app load? What about different geographies? What is the bounce rate? All of that is what we'll be focusing on. Also, we'd also like to take your attention towards Fleek functions that are edge optimized serverless functions built on Fleek. And on top of Fleek's on-chain cloud infrastructure, they will allow you to build creative use cases to support the Discovery track itself. Fleek is debuting them on Tuesday, 4th of June, just in time for this hackathon. They could be an awesome building block for your apps, allowing you to build your project quicker because it has zero DevOps requirements and to get lightning fast performance for your app right out of the box. We are super excited for all your efforts, and we are there to support you and take you through this journey of building amazing apps on chain. All the best. See you all in the developer channels where we can talk and chat more about your projects. Thank you.
Right. Next up, we have Zora. Hey, Dan.
Hey, I'm actually going to share a presentation if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. Hey, everyone. I'm Dan. I'm presenting the Create track by Zora. I'm very excited that we're sponsoring this track with a total prize pool of 20 ETH. Zora's mission is to make creating on the internet free and valuable. It is a place where people can creatively express on-chain. Creators express themselves through a wider range of media types, including still and moving image, audio, text, and 3D formats. You can see this uplifting on the left. We let you upload a bunch of kinds of media and create NFTs, NFT5 tokens with them. These are examples of different kind of content people have created on chain. It goes from like podcasts, fashion, 3D objects, videos, images, podcasts. There's tons of options available. And by building on our protocol, partners can, and developers and creators can earn protocol rewards. Here's an example on the right of Daylight and the amount of volume and rewards they've earned building on top of the Zora protocol. Collecting is a creative endeavor, and collectors mint based on their personal tastes. This is a form of creative expression. We are interested in projects that tap into this sentiment for collectors and creatives as creatives. Some prompts for ideas that we're interested in people building on top of the Zora protocol, although it's not a requirement. People can creating font NFTs, recipes, public domain works, meme templates, YouTube video, script screens, screenplays, SVGs. I'm going to talk quickly about our prize pool. We're very excited to be offering 20 ETH in prizes, and we've broken it out like the following. We're going to give 6 ETH to the top, our favorite project. We have a create track, which is like tools focused for creators. This could be like collaboration, remixing, new forms of media that we haven't thought about. There's tools for collectors, which makes it easier to onboard people to collect, new pricing models, bonding curves, multi-chain tokens that can be collected, curate discover, which can be around like finding content that you find interesting on chain. This could be like a feed of podcasts or videos or a network of content around a social theme. So this can tap into like a subgraph or on-chain data. And then imagine, which is some crazy wild idea that we haven't thought about, that just pie in the sky idea that's just crazy and weird that we think is really interesting. And then we're going to give you, and all those tracks are 3 ETH each for a single team. And then we're going to give an honorable mention, which is like all other projects that we like. They're going to be split 2 ETH among all of them. And to get any information, we have a GitHub page, which I'll paste in the chat, and that's going to be updating information about the bounties, and you can post questions on our issues there. And that's where we'll be our developer team and engineering team will be most responsive to any questions that come up. And that's it.
Thanks, Dan. Right. Right. Next up, we have Third Web.
Hello, everybody. Amen.
Amen.
Excited to be here. I lead the solutions team at Third Web, and what I love about my job is that for the past 2.5 years, I've had a front row seat at this. I like to think of it actually as a frontier that we're all on, and we are actually the early explorers on this, building these new class of really building the decentralized internet. And so super excited to be here. Want to thank our Coinbase partners for allowing us for the 2nd year in a row to partner with them on what has become now, like it's an annual event now. It's the annual like Web3 festival, which is Onchain Summer. So thank you to Coinbase for that. Pleased to announce that we're going to be sponsoring the gaming track here for the Buildathon. I do want to go back to what Jesse said, because it really resonated with me, and I know it probably resonated with a lot of people here. Everyone is a builder. I mentioned I've been working at this for several years. 100% everyone's a builder. 100% everyone is a Web3 builder. But there is an elephant in the room that I want to kind of bring out there, and that is it's super cool. Yes, we want to see thousands of apps. Yes, meet people, learn new skills. But bro, there's prize money here, right? We're talking like 200 ETH total that's going to be available here to teams. So it's like you're thinking out there, if you're listening in on this, you're probably, as a developer, you're probably thinking, okay, how can I get me that prize money, and which track should I go for? And I'm here to tell you, man, there's nothing funner and cooler to be building than a game. And I want you to rest assured that it might seem like, wait, I'm going to build a game in 30 days. Like that seems like impossible. But in the same way that the base team mentioned that there are these pillars now available to developers, mentioning the frictionless onboarding, things like smart wallets. They mentioned the social graph. On the gaming front and making your game a Web3 enabled game, those pillars also exist. And there are tons of resources that folks will be able to leverage. Look, You might think I want to be a game developer. We have on our YouTube channel, we have like a 3-hour tutorial crash course on building a Web3 game in Unity. Covers everything from smart contracts to how you can connect up different wallet types to actually building and connecting all of this to your game engine. We have templates that you can get started with really, really quick. And what's super cool is, as folks have already said, right? I mean, in many ways, games or gamification, right, really applies to any or a lot of Web3 apps. So, whether you're thinking about incorporating those, elements of social alongside some sort of gaming mechanic, or, that you're going to be building, know that like the tools are there and there's the glue that you can connect all of that. In terms of incentives, what we're doing at Third Web to help like build and increase the excitement here, couple of things. So we have something that we call our Superchain App Accelerators. So what we're offering is for all teams that are going to be building, we're going to be offering $100 in gas credits for folks that are building on base. Use that immediately. And then for any team that becomes a finalist, we'll offer you acceptance into what we call our startup program. And in our startup program, we're offering all kinds of credits around various other parts of the Third Web stack. And so highly encourage folks to leverage that. Come visit us in our Discord. Listen, can't wait to play everybody's game, and good luck.
Thanks, Emma. Next up, we have Shopify.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Everyone? Awesome. Thanks so much to everybody who is so based for being here. It's really amazing to get to build with all of you. I want to tell you about what I'm excited for you to all to build with Shopify, which is building a really compelling experience like an affiliate program or a loyalty feature that brings everything our people are doing out in the world that takes them to a store, right? This is one, like, if I could pick one thing that is going to be better for commerce on chain, it's these mechanisms of like, what have you done out in the world? And then how does that come with you when you come to a store and go shopping, right? We got a glimpse of this like with NFT Summer a couple of years back, where it's like, claim the token and then unlock the token gated reward, but we know how much bigger that can be. And we're really excited to see what you can go build. We're looking to see some mechanics you can build that look like this, right? One, they have an outside of the store component, right? Which can be anything, but like, I'd love to see some cool claim mechanics and frames. I'd love to see people leverage all of the on-chain social graph stuff that's coming up. But really anything you want here. And two, it needs to have an on-store component, right? Like, how does whatever you did come alive on the storefront? And here's where we really want to see what Smart Wallet can do, right? This is just so exciting to see what you can do with these on stores. We're looking to see one of either two things here. Either you can build a custom storefront, right? Which we'd love to see like a tutorial for how you did it for other people to copy it. Or if you want to be hardcore about it, you can actually make an app in the Shopify App Store and publish it. And we would love, love, love to see that. That's like more work. It's for the hardcore, but if you want to be based, go do that. We have a bunch of APIs that are available to you. Like all of the Shopify APIs are available to you. Everything on Shopify Dev is like a huge pool of resources for builders that we would love for you to check out. We would especially love for you to check out all of the new work that has come out for customer account extensions, right? Like, who are the buyers, right? How do you incorporate their smart wallets into who the buyers are, and their customer profile on the store, both after they make a purchase or even before they make a purchase. And then finally, there's a lot of stuff at blockchain.shopify.dev that you can look at for inspiration, but we recommend you don't follow it too closely because honestly, it was good like 15 months ago, but this was before smart wallets, right? This was before all of the amazing new on-chain infrastructure that has come up. And we would really love for you to go find out, like, how does a smart wallet make everything so much better than the old days when it was like connect your MetaMask, right? Like, show us what better looks like. Ryan Cordell, a staff designer at Shopify, formerly from Ethereum Foundation, and I are going to be judging. We're incredibly excited to see what you guys build, and we'll be especially excited if what you build actually makes it into the Shopify App Store. and sticks around. Yeah, I see comment. Could you provide the links? Everything is at shopify.dev. Very easy to navigate to. I'll also post it in the chat right after. Yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. Let's get building. You're all so based for being here.
Thanks, Alex. Next up, we have NounsDAO. And I guess today, Drew who is normally from Coinbase, is also from NounsDAO.
That's right. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I wanted to chat a little bit about the unplugged track and nouns. Everybody, I'm Drew. I work at Base, and I'm also a part of the nouns community. And if you don't know too much about nouns, Nouns is a DAO that's creating this CC0 brand, most recognized through Noggles. Here's the Noggles. I have them on a bag of coffee beans right beside my desk over here. And the desire is to see how big they can grow the brand that is Nouns from a completely headless perspective. So there are all of these different people spending these different amounts of energy in different areas to grow Nouns. There's a Nouns esports team. There's Nouns coffee. There's a Nouns documentary being made. There's just a bunch of different ways that Nouns can grow. And a lot of those ways are digital, but a lot of them are physical and rooted in the real world. I think that there's like a giant pair of Noggles at a ski resort, and there's the Noggles, these glasses, as components of like skate parks and different things around the world. And that's why Nouns was excited about sponsoring this unplugged track, which is about making a difference IRL to URL with a focus on community engagement. And, I think this is a really cool track, especially for people who are non-technical like myself, because as opposed to feeling a need to create something in this Buildathon that has a really, clear digital intent and purpose, this can be a community event. It could be something that is educating people in the real world. It could be something that's creating community engagement in a town, a city, wherever you are, wherever you're rooted. And the desire is to bring this on-chain ecosystem that we love into the physical spaces and create connections there that don't exist before. So if that's something that energizes you, if you're excited by that concept and have some sort of concept that you think, oh, this would be a really great way for us to introduce what it means to come on chain into the city that I live in, into the neighborhood that I live in, into the community that I'm a part of, then I would definitely encourage you to spend some time looking at this track and also looking at what it means to create some Nouns connectivity there with the community that you know. I think that's it. Thanks for having me, and let's see what happens in the real world.
And I just want to give a strong +1 on this track. If you're listening in and you're someone who is non-technical or not a developer, but you still think about yourself as a builder, you want to be a builder, the unplugged track is for you. Like literally, we added this track explicitly so that you could build awesome things in the real world, build a community, build a gathering, build a physical space, just do something that's unplugged from the internet and earn money, get support, get amplification. And so I think a lot of people ask, am I a builder? And this track and this moment is here to tell you, yes, you're a builder and you can change the world. You don't have to be technical to be a builder. You can be anyone. So build the unplugged track.
Thanks, Drew and Jesse. Right. Next up, we have the trading track, and it's being co-powered by two partners. And we have TBC Zoomer from Aerodrome here.
Hi, good morning. Great to be here. Very excited to see everything that's going to be built here over this next month. My name is Zoomer. I'm doing full stack development at Aerodrome. Aerodrome is a VE33 DEX on Base. So in terms of who we are, we support kind of the standard volatile and stable swap AMMs that you may be familiar with for a while. And then we have Slipstream as well, which is our concentrated liquidity AMM. But kind of the key feature of our product is the VE NFTs, where you can buy and lock Aero to earn both trading fees and then also incentives deposited by projects. And you earn those by voting on which pools to direct Aero emissions to. which itself incentivizes anyone to go and provide liquidity to that pool. And Aerodrome is the largest DEX on Base and represents about 40% of Base's TVL currently. So big shout out to all of the users in the community there that has fostered that growth lately. And then kind of the last thing about us is that we are only deployed to Base, and this has been increasingly relevant for many of the kinds of UX and growth-oriented tooling that are being pioneered really only on Base. So soon the DApp will roll out smart wallet support, obviously. And this is the kind of thing where being a first mover, being an early adopter, we see as there being a lot of benefits to really being Base focused. And we see that as well with the projects that onboard to Aerodrome and to kind of the broader Base DeFi ecosystem. They're realizing that they really need to be directing their focus specifically to Base. And so, yeah, on Aerodrome's side, we'll be providing some more information. Obviously, check out Aerodrome's GitHub, please, and hop in our Discord. We have a lot of discussion there, lots of technical discussion. We have developer docs. We have our Sugar repo, which is a fully on-chain suite of smart contracts with view functions that read everything directly from smart contract storage. That replaces the need of a centralized API or a subgraph. And that's another example of something that you can really only do that on a low-fee chain like Base, where Base is very oriented towards practical scaling with what they're doing with the block gas limit target. And so there are a lot of things that you're going to notice over the course of the hackathon that are very Base specific when looking at Aerodrome smart contracts or just general DeFi contracts on Base. And yeah, in general, we're very excited for the hackathon because the DeFi and trading side of Base, as many of you may be aware, it experienced kind of exponential growth in 2024. And overall, there's just a shortage of hackers, developers, designers, content creators, educators, pretty much anything you can think of that is needed to keep up with the demand from users. We are in short supply of that. So kind of regardless of what discipline you're in, you're going to be able to make some impact here. Yeah, so you can probably rattle off, 100+ unique ideas of services and projects that are being asked for directly by users today within the Base DeFi trading ecosystem. I can list a couple, maybe like we'd love to see standardized Solidity libraries, or even just Solidity code templates, or even just educational material for people that want to deploy ERC20s with some common non-standard features like taxes or pre-sale trading periods where the token can't be transferred until this timestamp is hit. New sorts of meme coins and communities generally don't have that expertise. And so any sort of templates or standardization or libraries will really help them a lot there. Another thing is regarding social graphs, we'd love to have a more social interface showing particularly the Aerodrome VENFT leaderboard. Right now, that information is kind of scattered across Dune and these other services that really aren't perfect. But utilizing social graphs here is kind of, we see it as the best way to understand who is aligned within a project like Aerodrome. Those are often the biggest power users. They're inherently long-term aligned when they're locked in voting weekly. And those are some of really the highest value participants within Base's ecosystem. Other things are integration surrounding VNFTs and incentives, even just a UI for automated weekly incentives that projects can use to not have to ping their multi-sig every week when they want to incentivize liquidity. VNFT auctions, VNFT lending gets a bit more interesting with yield generating assets like Aerodrome's VNFTs. It's a bit of a different design space than a traditional NFT that maybe doesn't have a financial yield attached to it. As well as now that we're seeing kind of on our side, we see a lot of institutions coming in this past year, and anything that kind of allows people to get liquidity on their VNFTs is very interesting for us. Because maybe there's certain tax or compliance requirements that these institutions have. And so they may not be getting the yield that they want or not be able to lock Arrow in the way that they want because they prioritize certain liquidity or have certain tax obligations. Yeah, but really, I think it's very open-ended what you can do here. I'd say that most of the time, some of the best ideas within our community are just the ones that nobody really thought of. Everything within our smart contracts is fully on-chain and public. So kind of the composability is what's going to be most important here. But that's pretty much all I have. Very excited to see everything that's going to be created over this next month.
Super cool. Right. Thanks, Zoomer. Next up, we have Noah. Hey, Noah.
Hey, thanks, guys. Cool. Yeah, so I'll provide a quick overview of synthetics and then share some ideas for some stuff you could build. So get a little technical, but I'll keep it brief. Yeah, so synthetics is a liquidity, derivatives liquidity platform. So like on Aerodrome or Uniswap, you trade tokens and the automated market maker figures out what the price should be. Synthetics is similar, but instead of trading tokens, you can think of it more like you're trading a price feed. So this is super exciting because you can get exposure to any asset on chain, not just tokens that are launched like crypto native. So the first main function of the synthetics core system is that it can issue a decentralized stablecoin. You can deposit decentralized collateral and then take out a loan of basically dollar derivatives against it. This is sort of like liquidity maker. The base deployment just uses USDC for now, but it's a good thing to know if you're working through the docs. And then the other main function of the core system is liquidity provisioning. So when traders are using markets built on synthetics, they pay fees to liquidity providers that are pooling the USDC in the system so that the traders can always have their orders filled. So this is sort of similar to being an LP on Aerodrome or Uniswap. And then on top of the core system, you have different market implementations. So the most popular one right now is the perpetual futures markets. And this is what traders use with apps like Quenta and Polynomial to trade different assets on Base. So the protocol is super modular. It's completely open source. There's tons of awesome stuff you can build on it. I'm just going to rattle off some ideas of stuff that I'm interested in, but this isn't exhaustive at all. So at a baseline, you could build trading bots and like automated vaults that have different trading strategies and things like that. Also, that's a huge category. There's tons of different directions you could go in with that. The perpetual futures markets have something called a funding rate that keeps the markets balanced for the liquidity providers. So you could build bots that basically do an arbitrage on that funding rate, or even tokenizing that funding rate would be very cool. There are protocols like Pendle that would be a good reference for a project like that. There's also interest in the community for people to build an off-chain order book, basically, where you would collect a signature from one trader that wants to go long and a signature from a trader who wants to go short, same size trade. And then this system could take the two signatures and bring them on chain together and execute it as one transaction rather than needing to have two separate ones. You can also just build your own market implementation. The core system has something called the market manager interface. So you could just create a protocol for a prediction market, option, spot, perpetual futures. And I think there's a lot of room for more creative uses of oracles too. Like most of this space is using basically just price feeds, but there are randomness oracles and there are other more creative sort of long tail oracle projects that I think would be very cool to see integrated with a market on synthetics. But what I'm most excited about is user interfaces. Like basically everyone I know manages their finances in custom spreadsheets. And I think it's mostly because TradFi is a closed ecosystem. The APIs are generally horrible if they exist at all. And how people think about and manage their money is a really big deal. So yeah, I mean, you can just go into this not really thinking about it like crypto, but just like what would be an ideal app for you to manage money. And as a business, as a personal finance, call it a treasury, a portfolio, whatever you want. And then you could just start wiring it up to synthetics permissionlessly on Base. Cool. So yeah, in the synthetics Discord channel, we have in the synthetics Discord server, we have a channel for the Buildathon. There's an Onchain Summer page in the synthetics v3 docs, and you can even just reach out to me personally if you have questions or want to bounce some ideas around. Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, Noah. Right. Cool. So that was our partner showcase. something that we would like you to remember is this on-chain summer, we want you to build something people want, or maybe not. Maybe just go out and have fun, right? As long as you do that, it's all cool. Do remember to keep sharing your progress on Farcaster and X. That way you can really get your app, the initial feedback and the traction, build a community around it. And that usually is how you get to build a better product by the end of the Buildathon. And yeah, other than that,
One other note on that is if you're building, you don't have to wait to the end to earn prizes. Every week, if you share what you built on /base builds in Farcaster, you will earn a portion of 2 ETH. We're also going to be standing up other prize rounds on Farcaster that pay people. So just post in /base builds in Farcaster, share what you built, build in public, and you will earn. And so that's a really great way to fund yourself to build on this. Even if it's just like 10 or 50 bucks a week, that's money you wouldn't otherwise have in your pocket. And that can help you get all the way to the prize at the end. So we want to do everything we possibly can to support builders because we know y'all are the lifeblood of Onchain Summer, and you're going to be the ones who create the incredible products that bring people on chain. So /base builds on Farcaster, go earn some money every week starting today. So literally, if you built something this week, you can go to /base builds, you can share what you built, and you'll earn ETH.
super cool. Right. We're almost at the end and we'll have some time for Q&A. But yeah, like if you haven't registered for the Buildathon yet, you should. The link is onchainsummer.devfolio.co. And yeah, remember all this summer, we just want you to build it. Reach out to us on Discord. We'll all be there on the base.org/Discord for any queries you have, and follow us on X and Farcaster, and we'll be sharing more about what people are building there. Right. I think we'll have some time to take up Q&A. Maybe let's check out what folks are asking.
Who's got a question? Feel free to drop them in the chat. We have about 5 minutes.
There are a whole lot of questions in the Q&A.
Oh, there's a Q&A section. There we go. Whoa. Okay, should I just hit these? I'm just going to go fast.
Yep.
James, what niches do you think will contribute to the most volume of new on-chain users? I mean, I think we've kind of laid it out in the tracks. I think social creators, payments, DeFi, like all of those things. And so I know that's not particularly specific, but really, I think everything is possible to be built this summer. I would encourage you to, just build. So that's that one. Stripe on-ramp is only available. It's invite only in India. Can we use Banksa on-ramp integration in the project? Yeah, you can use any on-ramp. Again, prizes or not, you don't have to use the sponsor to earn the prize. They're just putting up the ETH, and we encourage you to use them if you want to. So if you need access to Stripe, jump in the Discord. We're also working with them to make that onboarding more smooth. We know that invite only is a problem for some folks, but feel free to build with anything. How will we protect users from malicious contracts when using the smart wallet? So this is something that Coinbase Wallet has been working on for a while. We simulate transactions. We give users warnings. We're improving that every single day. So the same thing will exist with the smart wallet. Our goal is to make the smart wallet the easiest and safest way for anyone to go on chain. And so I'm sure a lot of y'all watching in here have gone through the experience of having to give your friends or family the talk when you onboard them to crypto, which is like, hey, we're setting up this crypto wallet for you. Now don't mess it up or you'll lose all your money. Like that's the worst thing ever. And we don't want that to be the reality. And so that is the goal of the smart wallet. The smart wallet's goal is to make it so anyone can go on chain. They don't have to stress. So it's going to take some time for us to get to be perfect, but there's already going to be a lot there on day one. And we think it's going to be really great for protecting users. Outside of financial services, what industry do you think will be the first to embrace on chain the same way Coinbase is, and why? It's a good question. I think that it's going to come for social and creators. I don't know whether the existing Web2 apps are going to embrace it or we're going to disintermediate them and replace them. But I think that creators are frustrated. They've seen that they have created so much value for the internet, but so much of that value hasn't been captured by them. I actually just saw a stat that creators earn less than 1% of the revenue of social networks. Less than 1%. They're the ones creating the value. And so on chain, there's going to be an incredible opportunity for creators to earn more, to more directly connect with their fans. And I think that's going to totally transform the creator industry. How's Base going to benefit gaming and AI versus chains like Arbitrum or Avalanche? There's lots of gaming products being built on Base. There's lots of AI being built on Base. I think the thing you'll find on Base is that it's just an incredible community of builders, and that's the largest distribution of any L2. And so if you want to build a game that reaches a mass audience, if you want to build with other awesome people who have a good vibe, who are based, who bring energy, there's nowhere better to build, and we're excited to build with you this summer. Base clearly has a build first, talk later culture, which is very different from other ecosystems. Looking at it retrospectively, it's the best decision the Base could have ever taken. How did that culture come to form, and what was the reason behind it? That's a good question, Dami. And shout out to Dami, who embodies build first, talk less more than anyone. He's just running incredible onboarding events all around Africa, and being an incredible leader for Base. Totally, unprompted, just doing it. I think that this culture really tracks back to two things. One is a credit to Optimism, who had this idea of retroactive public goods funding, which we have really leaned into, where you build and then you can show impact and then you get rewarded. And I think that that's been something we've embraced from the beginning. And it's led to kind of this build first, talk later culture. And then the second place I think it comes from is the team, like the core Base team, and probably me to a certain extent. Like, this is just who we are. Like, the way the Base team works is we build first, talk later. We're not on Twitter arguing. Like, you should never, and you probably have never seen Base team talk down to other teams, be negative to other teams, argue about stuff on Twitter. That's just not who we are. We are going to let our actions speak for themselves, and we're going to focus all of the energy we possibly have into making Base the best place for builders. And I think setting that tone from the front has then led to the team having it, and then led to the ecosystem having it. And to your point, I think it's probably the most important cultural component of Base, besides maybe this idea that Base is for everyone, which I really love as well. Oh, these are some long questions. I think this is just a thank you. Someone saying thank you for the smart wallet. Awesome. You're welcome. The smart wallet's awesome. It's going to change the world. If you're building an app, integrate the smart wallet. You can do it at smartwallet.dev. Right now, there are a lot of EVM networks. Do users need so many networks? What is your vision of the results of such a battle? Well, first off, I don't think it's a battle. This is the strategy of Ethereum. We're scaling with rollups, and that means that you have a lot of this experimentation that's kind of happening. And some experiments will work, some won't work, but all of it's a part of the learning process. It's part of the growth process. And so our mindset is that there's no competition, there's only cooperation. And the biggest competition that we do have is off-chain. We need to build better on-chain experiences that just work for users. And I think the way that this is going to work in the future is that users aren't going to have to worry about this. This is really going to be a developer choice, where developers choose where do they build, where do they deploy their applications, what economy are they a part of, and then users get a really seamless experience. And this is what the smart wallet's going to enable. It's built to make it so users don't have to worry about this complexity. They can hold all their assets on Base. They can transact anywhere, and everything just works out of the box. And so I know that it's a little bit choppy right now from an experience perspective, but it's going to get much, much better as we kind of make the experience better and integrate these different networks. Currently, Smart Wallet is surfaced with a lot of Coinbase branding and integrated on-ramp that only uses Coinbase. Do you foresee a shift towards being a bit more neutrality with other on-ramps? Yes, absolutely. The Smart Wallet's actually going to integrate tons and tons of on-ramps, because the goal with the Smart Wallet, first off, it's open source, so anyone can use the Smart Wallet contracts. And we want it to work everywhere. And Coinbase doesn't have on-ramps everywhere. And sometimes Coinbase on-ramps aren't even the best in whatever place that they are. And so the goal with the Smart Wallet is to actually integrate every single on-ramp in the world so that users can just onboard and that developers don't have to worry about it. And so if you're a great on-ramp, please get in touch with the team. we want to work with you. We want to get more people on chain. We want to help them use crypto. And we think the best way to do that is with an open ecosystem. Is the smart wallet open sourced and audited? Yes, the smart wallet is open sourced and audited. You can go to github.com/coinbase / smart wallet. Let me just post it in the chat. And you can see all of the contracts. I don't know if we have the audits there, but I believe we've done 6 audits on it. Don't quote me on that exact number, but something like that. We've done a number of internal audits, and then we've done external like code contests, and then a bunch of other audits with like Spearbit and a bunch of other folks. So we know that this is a super security critical piece of code. We want to make sure it's maximally secure. Okay, y'all, I unfortunately have to drop. I hope I got through enough questions. If you have more questions, please join the Discord. You can go to base.org/Discord. We'll be there all summer long to help you build things. Go forth and build. Build in the open. Build with your friends. And everyone can be a builder. I'm so excited to see what all of you create. And I'll hand it back to Denver, who will close us out.
Thanks, Jesse. Thanks for sticking around.
I see one last question. You can submit multiple projects. I think it's 1 per track. I'm not quite sure, but we changed the rules so you can now submit multiple projects.
Yeah.
See y'all.
Right. So we have Will also here. And Will, what do you think about going through some questions together? I think you're on mute. Oh,
here we go. Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I think we already went over here. What's smart wallet open source and audited? Yep. I'm developing a desktop game in Unity for a long time. I'm using Third Web. How can I submit it? So basically, like you can put together your GitHub repo and just codify how you're putting things together. Put together like a really good project description, just detailing like how you set up your desktop game. Essentially, you want to make it easy for the judges to be able to determine how they're going to be able to use your product. So the better you can describe that, the better you can show how to interact with what you made. Ideally, like everybody should be building something that's usable at project submission time. So that in a nutshell is what I would recommend for like a desktop app. And then another one, how many nodes are currently in the base network? So we like base is open and permissionless. We don't track, like who's running nodes and stuff like that. Anyone can run a node. And this is actually like a really cool, potentially like a discovery track project is like, if you wanted to build some type of mapping tool that just shows where people are running base nodes around the world. I think that is a question that I've seen asked plenty of times in Discord, and something really cool. But yeah, we don't actually like track to see like who's running nodes or anything, because anybody can run one. And actually, the node code base itself is open source. So if a team wins a prize in the Buildathon, is there a path to pitch to Coinbase Ventures for pre-seed funding? So Base has the ecosystem fund. So I definitely think that in that, like if you are submitting a project and you're able to potentially win a prize, that would be something really great to include when you're filling out like the ecosystem fund application. The Base ecosystem fund is managed by Coinbase Ventures. So that for sure, like I think if you want a prize, like, and you're interested in doing something like that, would be a great idea. Denver, any other comments before I keep rolling through some more questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to check how much longer do you think you'd have to answer the
Yeah,
question?
I think I have about maybe 10 minutes if that works for you all, or yeah, does that sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. Anything to look out for those building DEXs and DeFi on Base? I think that's kind of a subjective question, of course. Like with complete ownership comes complete responsibility, and like essentially like Base is open and permissionless. But check out docs.base.org. The great news is it's like all the best tools. Like when I say best, like meaning the most used tools out there, like Hardhat, Foundry, open source contracts and stuff like that that are heavily audited, like Open Zeppelin and stuff like that. That all runs on Base. It's just like at your fingertips to utilize. And so in that, like, if you're new to the space, we also have on docs.base.org a section called Basecamp, which is like a free, really huge resource where you can learn more about like how to build and develop on top of Base and, you know, develop smart contracts and whatnot. So all in all, like, we have a bunch of best practices, resources, but ultimately, like, you're the builder, you can go in any direction you want in, you know, DeFi. So let's see. How about something other than wallets? What do you guys think about real world assets? I think I personally like. I know the question was for Jesse. I think like it ties in with like in real life and you know, like the digital realm is like the big unlock. I feel like in on-chain is one of them is connecting real world assets to open and permissionless systems to truly create like an open economy. And to that note, because we're coming up on time. I just wanted to point out that like we all are here because I feel like we want to do something better. And one thing that I really love about this space is like on the other end of the social network, the Discord, I see an avatar. I see somebody, you know, talking about something they want to build. Just it could be any type of content, but there's no difference in skin color, religion, political ideology, all of these things from closed systems that right now in the world are leading to like if you just open the news, like it's really like a time where I feel like we all feel like something's not right, and we're all here because we want something better. And so if you look at these tracks, all these tracks together, like gaming, payments, commerce, social, putting that together, those are ingredients that form a recipe for like a truly like open economy, like for a better future world, like a future society. And we're actually able to do that now. And so when Jesse says like everybody's a builder, when Denver says everybody's a builder, like we all can do something better right now to contribute. And even if it's just like you want to participate in this buildathon, but you don't have your idea fully fleshed out, just even opening up like a doc on your computer, on your phone, like picking up a notepad, scribbling some stuff out, like putting in that 1, 2, 3% of your time is like a vote and energy that you're putting out into manifesting something better. And so like this buildathon is going on today through all of June. And each day is an opportunity to come on Discord. We're all there. I think like right now there's probably like over 20,000 people online and just connecting with others. We're all there, I think, under this ethos. And that ethos is what people mean when they say based. Like we're all based in trying to do something better together. So I know that's a bit of a tangent, but really, before we come up on time, just looking at these different tracks, like these are all parts of an open economy. It's like a vote against this current closed system that we're all part of that is frankly is breaking down in front of us. And so our community, this base community is just growing exponentially. And it's just so awesome to see everybody here being a part of this, contributing in some way to build something better. So I'll do a few more questions. If we have already submitted a proposal via the Google form, do we still fill out the Devfolio profile? So this question is in relation to some people have asked like that want to participate in being featured in Onchain Summer, being part of the Onchain Summer registry. That's actually different from the Buildathon. If you want to participate in the Buildathon, if you want to, you know, have the potential to win a prize from the pool in one of these tracks or some of the additional rewards, you need to go to the Devfolio site, onchain-summer.devfolio.co, and register. So it's different from that Google form. Another one, do we have to make just one? People are asking so many questions. It's pushing up my screen. I'm having trouble reading it. Okay. How to access the social graph. So actually the social graph can be any existing network. Like you can build something on chain right now in Web3 trying to connect it to an existing network like Facebook, like X. If you want to go truly more into the Web3 realm, truly more on chain, you can build something on Farcaster, the sponsor for the social track. So when we say that social graph, building things on chain that connect people together in existing social networks, connecting to your social graph, whether that's your friends, like your club, people in your community, in your country, shared interests, that's the social graph. So it can be anything, anywhere, but you particularly building something that connects that to a more open economy and leveling that up is the idea, the ethos behind that particular track. I'll take a look here at a couple more questions, and then I'll hand it back over to Denver to close us out. Can you share some examples of things that non-technical builders can build? Yeah, so like creating content is a huge one. Think about how big networks like TikTok have gotten, how viral they've gotten. Like you creating content on chain using something like Zora or like an app like Dracula, which is kind of like a on-chain TikTok, is a way for you to be able to be contributing to this on-chain ecosystem your time to say, hey, listen, like I want to own what I'm making right now. I want to own this network that I'm growing right now. I don't want to be the product behind this other network when, like Jesse mentioned, it's like only 1% of the value is actually captured by the creator. Like I want to build something better. That's an example of that. You going out right now, when you want to post some content online, making the conscious choice, I'm going to put this on Farcaster. I'm going to post this on Zora. That's you saying, I'm not feeding into this old system anymore. I'm going to be part of the new one. So that's an example of like a non-technical builder. Also, definitely check out like what Drew Kaufman was talking about with Nouns DAO. Like that's just a whole other really awesome. Frankly, it's like it's just a incredible initiative that like really communities all over the world can leverage. So definitely check out Nouns DAO, because there's all types of ideas and initiatives within that you can do like in real life, connecting it on chain. Different things in your community, also with social tie-ins. So that's another non-technical example. Are we going to be able to get base USDC on Stripe this summer? So Stripe Connect, Stripe Payments, USDC, that's going to be supported on base. So that is a yes. And I'll do one more. Any advice for builders who want to sorry, people are asking questions. It bumped it up on my screen and now I'm lost. Again, will there be an opportunity for ongoing product feedback? For example, a weekly demo slam? This is a great question to end on. Absolutely, yes. So we're going to do office hours every week, probably twice a week, just to be friendly to different people's time zones. We don't want people just on one hemisphere to always get these like good hours and everybody else has to stay up late and vice versa. So we're going to do it twice a week. This is the exact type of context where, hey, show us what you're building, give feedback. Also, like Jesse said, build in public, post what you're working on. It's like, Farcaster, post it to base builds, post it to the base channel, post it in Discord. Like people telling you what you think is such a rich experience for you to make what you're building better. And if you're posting something out there and you're not really getting much engagement, that's okay. That's like, part of that growth of like, why is my project not connecting? It forces you to really push hard to connect with a few different users, to have them check out what you're building and give you like, hey, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And incorporating that feedback is what allows you to go from 5 people to 15 people. And then all of a sudden you have like 50 people using your project. So short answer though, come to the office hours. We're going to be doing those twice a week. We're going to send out an email. If you're not already in the Discord, come to base.org/Discord, join our Onchain Summer Buildathon channels. And really 24/7, we're going to be there. But specifically, we're going to do like video meetups and stuff like that. With office hours that we can talk through this stuff as well. So more questions here that I think we have time to get through, but come on over to Discord. If you had a question that didn't get answered, just post it again there. Tag me. I'm WBins. We also have other people from the team, other people in the community. There's all kinds of like we have them. They're called based advocates. It's just people all over the world. They're like some of the most based people in the community, always there, just like helping other people. Just come on over and ask your question. And you can also ask, on X, tag Wilson or Jesse or myself or other base team members. We're all here to try to help you. So with that note, I'm going to hand it back over to Denver. And just thanks again, y'all, for being a part of this. It's really heartfelt, just that knowing that we have so many people that want to be part of something better and are going to, really commit time to just build and make something better of themselves and in this world that we're living in together.
Amazing, Will. Something that I wanted to add on the office hours, what's been really amazing for us to see is that there are other communities also that are coming forward and now trying to offer more support. So throughout this Buildathon, it's not just the official office hours. So we already have the FBI community. That's a Farcasters community doing great work. Shout out to FBI, and they are going to provide office hours in off times. So we have some office hours going on in US friendly times, we have some office hours going on Asia friendly times, and we just try and get as much support for builders as possible. And we're going to get all sorts of interesting people out in the Discord. So even if you just want to come and give back to the community, do reach out to us. Just sign up for the Buildathon, and then you'll get to join the Discord and come and help everyone out. I think it'll be super cool to see.
Yeah, agreed. That's the thing. Like, we're really in the future, and then in this Buildathon, trying to help people connect locally, like in real life. And I think that FBI example, like in India right now, there's just like such an incredible initiative of people building on top of base. And so stay tuned for more details on that. But we're like, if you're interested in trying to set up a community, like a builder club, and like we said, it doesn't have to just be writing code. Like, in other ways you can build. Like, we want to try to help enable you through grants and whatnot to do that in your community. So stay tuned for more details on that.
Super cool. With that, I think we still have a fair amount of questions to go through, but in the interest of time, we'll be taking that up on our Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord already, do join in. It's really popping there. Folks on the Telegram as well, do join in on the Discord. We're gonna all build together on-chain this summer.
Yeah, that's right. Like, it's so exciting. Like, it's time to build in on-chain summers now. Like, this other type of closed world that we've all been in, that's brought us to this point. Like, that's wintertime. It's over. So see you all on Discord, and just cheers. Like, let's do this.
Super cool. All right, folks, that's it for today. Thanks everyone for joining in. Really appreciate your time. See you around, folks.